James Melendez, James the Wine Guy. Stay tuned for this video on Santa Lucia Highlands AVA. So it's a fantastic region. This is 2014, June. Now, I was recently in Santa Lucia Highlands for the SLH Gala tasting in May of 2014, just last month. And for me, it's really important to put foot on ground, put your foot on crunchy ground, and understand and feel and get a sense of topography. And for me, I always have a mind, my mind's imagination, and my cognitive map is, or cognitive imagination is, what does this land look like? Because I think we're all trying to do that all the time. Before you go to a certain location, maybe you're going to Budapest, or maybe you're going to London or Australia, and you really want to get a feel for it because you really want to orient yourself when you are there. Same thing with any wine country that I visit. Oftentimes I'm correct in terms of my cognitive map, that I've preconceived the notion of what it's going to be like, but until I get there, I really don't get the full appreciation. I was really taken over with the beautiful views you get. So the actual vineyard sites are going to be stretching from the southeastern portion all the way to the northwest portion, and so that's a great orientation. It is following the Santa Lucia Highlands ridge, or actually chain of mountains, and so that is the orientation of this mountain chain. Important because you couldn't be on the other side of the mountain chain because it would be way too cool. So this side is giving some brilliant coolness in the evening time and some beautiful sunshine and warm temperatures that Pinot Noir wants. So this is an area that's really dominated by Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. And for me, I think it's a fantastic region to, again, put foot on ground, get that orientation, and get a feel for this. And I will also harken back to old days when I used to think of Gary's Vineyard, for example, or Rosella's. And somehow in my mind's imagination, or even Sleepy Hollow Vineyard, somehow they lived on their own. They weren't part of an AVA, if you will. They truly have always been. But ultimately, they somehow live in this very famous set unto themselves. But I think that's the beauty of visiting, is you get to remember, recall, understand, associate, and have that great sense of being there. So on a map, I want to show you where this area is located and some features of this land. So this really great brochure, which I'm going to keep forever because I think it's very cool and definitive. So SLH AVA is right here. You'll see the Pacific Ocean right behind, and the Monterey Bay is right there. So a brilliant sense of coolness and fog that keeps this, the grapes within check. And again, Pinot Noir, being as fussy as it is, needs this particular climate pattern. So on the map here, if you just look at this map, you'll see that this is seemingly a east to west orientation, but you realize here that this is not correct because the orientation is on the cardinal points here. So north is going to be up here, so bring it up north to south. So it's oriented to somewhat like this in terms of reality. You get a sense of it in terms of, in this corner right here is the true staging of what this area looks like. If you visit, which I definitely recommend to visit, because a lot of people will speed through, if they're visiting San Francisco, which you may or may not do, is you may go directly to Carmel or Monterey, and you'll definitely pass by this region, at least in the left side of your car, if you're going down to these specific regions, Carmel and Monterey. But ultimately, it's a stop by. There's only about a handful of tasting rooms. It's truly worth the experience and the visit. So, just a few more factoids about this wondrous wine country. And for me, I think, wow, this is a fantastic place for Pinot Noir Chardonnay. There are other varieties that grow there as well, but truly, when you think about the number of total acres and hectares that are devoted, about 95% are devoted completely to to the Pinot Noir and the Chardonnay programs. So the first wineries were planted, or the first vineyards were planted in 1973, and so this area was elevated to an American viticultural area in about 1991, if I'm not mistaken. So what I mentioned before was this is area devoted to Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. So the total acres is about 3,095 of Pinot Noir, or 1,252 hectares. Chardonnay is 2,060 acres, or 833 hectares. Really interesting elevation set here. So anywhere between 98 to 2,349 feet, or equivalent to 29 to 729 meters above sea level. So the varieties additionally beyond this are Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon, Chardonnay, of course, Chenin Blanc, Malbec, Merlot, Petit Verdot, Pinot Gris, Riesling, Roussanne, Syrah, and Viognier. Fantastic region. I'll put more information on the SLH down here below. And I'm going to ask you a favor. Please give a like right here. Also, share this video. Give your questions and comments on your favorite wines from SLH. And if you would do me another favor, is subscribe to my video channel right here. It's a fantastic region. I recommend it highly. So don't just seek it out in the bottle format. Seek it out in person. Thank you so much for watching, and more to come.